Members of the European Parliament have voted in favour of a motion to say that there is a global climate emergency and to put ambitions on tackling it. Here on the brief from Brussels, we're going to take a look at that motion because while most of the major political groupings within the European Parliament were in favour of it, it was very divisive and threw up political divisions.
Now we vote for
Success.
as a whole, and the resolution is adopted.
Europe becomes the first continent to declare a climate emergency with 429 MEPs in favour and 225 against. Following a global wave of youth climate protests, a motion tabled by the Renew Europe group calls on governments to ensure all relevant new laws and budget proposals are fully aligned with the target of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius.
It's about declaring a state of emergency, I would say, in terms of climate and environment, but also to act accordingly, to take very concrete actions in line with this emergency. So it's not only declaring emergency, it's also acting, taking the right political decisions, having this mindset.
The debate had also been hijacked by members who opposed the European Parliament's monthly routine of everyone travelling from Brussels to Strasbourg. The travel alone is estimated to produce 19,000 tonnes of CO2 emissions. And EU member countries like Poland are still heavily reliant on coal. And while the motion is calling for a 55% reduction in carbon emissions, Green groups say it's still not enough.
The 55% target that the European Parliament and a number of governments are calling for is not yet in line with the 2-degree target. For Greenpeace and other environmental groups, this target needs to be ramped up to 65%. This is what climate action looks like.
The incoming European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has made a so-called New Green Deal her flagship policy as they take up their mandate from December the 1st.
In extreme poverty.
And EU politicians say they want to be the leading voice when it comes to climate, especially with the COP25 climate conference starting the first week of December in Madrid. Europe says it wants to lead the way. Jack Parrock, Euronews, Brussels.
And now we go to
The European Parliament is calling on all EU countries to accede to a convention on preventing and combating violence against women, known as the Istanbul Convention. A resolution was adopted in Strasbourg by 500 votes in favour and 91 against. It also urges the 7 member states that have signed up but not yet ratified it to do so without delay.